Game time. Is this on? Yo, yo, yo.
Good evening, good evening. Is this on? Ready? I have to project. Project.
What's up? Hey, ladies. What's going on, Divas?
Hey.
Happy Monday. What's going on?
Nothing much. Just same old, same old. What about you guys?
How's your weekend?
It was good, eventful.
Ew.
I worked a little bit and, hung out a little bit.
That's
50-50.
always good.
Yeah. So, what about you guys? How was your weekend? Pretty. We're trying.
But
Pretty
you know
what?
what has happened though, right? It's by the time I listen, this is live, so we gonna have to explain. By the time I sit down, I'm like, wait, what's going on like with the board?
Right.
So, weekend was good actually.
Talking your mic.
They're always telling me, Maddie, talk in your mic. Weekend was cool. Did a little dinner party, so
Oh, that's
that was
nice.
cool. Kat, how was your weekend?
Oh, it was pretty good. It's a blur. It's my weekend was a blur.
Right.
But hey, we're here. Monday. Typical Monday.
Here, Monday fun day. We have a super special guest in the building. Mr. Major Bay is in the building today. Let's give him a quick shot. Hold on a second.
Turn me up.
I know it's a way to
He said,
add.
turn me up, turn me up. Guys, we're going to have a lot in store for you guys today. We're talking about the mortgage process with the super lender, Major Bay. He's also an investor. So if you have any questions, make sure you definitely tap in. Just get my little fake notes. Y'all know I always got notes. All right. So, if you're actually logged on onto Facebook, we have our Zoom linked in not the bio, but I would say like the comments. And if you actually want to join the Zoom on Instagram, it would have to be with custom fitted, or you can join the Zoom on Cat. Is yours up?
Yep, it's up on my Instagram, Mrs. Realty.
at MRS Realty, and you can also join Major Bays Live. See, what happened was I was running like 2 seconds late, so I didn't put the link in my bio. So that's why I'm actually going live with you guys today on Facebook. Ow. But if you want to call in and speak to Major Bays, speak to the investor, speak to the lender, the number is 646-233-1302. So let's say that again. If you want to actually speak to Major Bay, and if you have any questions about lending and or investing, then the number to call into the studio is 646-233-1302.
Nice.
Ooh, child. Look. Ooh, child. That was a lot. Over the weekend, I did not know that the Grammys came on over the weekend. So that was super, super exciting. But we're going to hop into Home of the Week. To Miami's super finest. I think he's dating Trina now. Did you guys see some pictures? I meant to get those pictures. I think he's dating Trina now.
No, I didn't know
As
that.
he should. They've been doing music together, so why not date someone from your hometown? I mean, I don't know, but I mean, allegedly, according to Instagram. That's all I can say. They were hanging pretty tough during All-Star Weekend.
Right.
I think she got a what is it? I don't know if she got a new rap snaps chips. Don't get me a lie. All I know is that they may be dating. So his house, actually, he purchased it last year or 2 years ago in the foreclosure. But it actually, if you guys seen Coming to America, it was the house in Coming to America #2. Coming to America #2. This house is massive. It's more like a castle. It is Zamunda. It is Zamunda. It's actually, let me get my notes together. It is 12 bedrooms, 21 baths. It sits 100 people in just the dining room alone. It has, of course, basketball courts and tennis courts, but it has a whole stable. Let me pull this up so you guys can really. Could you imagine coming home after a long day? You just do all this.
Insane.
Could you imagine if I were Rick Ross and I came home to this, I would just think, well, I'm always thanking God. But you would just be like, thank you, Lord, thank you, Lord, thank you, Lord. Like every day.
That's real nice.
That house is extremely, extremely huge. And it's actually 4,000 square feet? But I think that's more like 32,000 square feet. I think I messed up something.
No way, yeah.
I think it's more like 32,000 square feet.
The garage alone is probably 4,000 square feet.
Yeah, I think I definitely messed that up somewhere in my notes. And it even has a 7-stall stable, like a barn. So I guess he has maybe some stock back there, some horses. So I guess all the, what's it called, Wingstop?
Wingstop money's good.
Right.
Wingstop is doing quite okay.
Which is actually a good. Have y'all eaten at Wingstop before?
It was all right.
It's not bad. And I'm not really a chicken. I don't really. It's weird. I don't eat a lot of chicken. But it was good. I liked it.
I've had it like once, and I can't remember, but I think I did the lemon pepper because it was in the video.
Right.
It was in the song.
Right.
But I can't remember. Mr. Bay?
There's a Wingstop right across from where I live.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
I'm in there all the
So
time.
you're frequent.
Uh-huh.
I'm definitely going to actually, you know what? Mr. Engineer said it's very, very salty. Kira said she loved Wingstop. She said she don't like it. It's too dry. Somebody said hot wings. So maybe I'll try it.
It's too salty and too dry. Wow.
I thought when I had it was salty.
It was salty.
Yeah.
Did you have the wings or did you have what flavor did you have, number one? And
Yes.
then did you have the wings or did you have the nuggets? Because, you know, they have
They
got
or the
nuggets?
tenders.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't know
Yeah.
about the nuggets. I had the wings.
You had
and
the
I might have
actual
had like
wings.
lemon pepper, just because like,
Right, because,
lemon
yeah.
pepper.
Right.
No, I spiced mine up. I think I had the Hawaiian chili pepper with the,
Oh.
yeah, with
Ooh,
the,
wow.
because there's like 10 different flavors you can dipping sauces, and then on top of that,
Dipping sauces.
yeah, and it goes from like least spicy to most spicy, and I love spicy, so I'm like, I love it. I don't know. It's just me though.
If Custom swear by it, that means this weekend I'm gonna have to get me some wing
Spicy
stuff.
lemon pepper Hawaiian wings.
Right. Let me write that down.
Right.
If you have a flavor that you think I should try, now see, don't have me doing all these wings all weekend. I know I'm trying to watch my weight. Lies. Like, what happened to you? I was eating wings. Stop.
Mm-hmm.
So, cool. So I guess we can hop right on. Oh, that actually, all this time, it was on his house and not on us. I am so sorry. I'm just going to move this phone over a little bit just so I can get to the other photos of the house. Ooh, y'all know. We'll come back to his house when I,
And also anyone on IG or Facebook, feel free to log on to Zoom. The links are provided.
yes. Let's say hi to Reynolds and Great Choices. If you guys want to put your faces on so we can say hi.
How you doing?
How you doing? Someone said try the garlic
garlic
parmesan.
See, whoever said that, you know what you're talking about.
Garlic
I could go out and eat with you. Who
parmesan.
was
Write
that?
down.
Please shout them out.
That is, who said the garlic parmesan?
The garlic parmesan with the Hawaiian sweet.
Cheeks said the garlic parmesan.
Let me tell you.
Boo, what's going on?
Yes.
Let's say what's up. Who's on your IG?
Let me see this. I was checking Facebook.
She's checking Facebook, guys.
Okay, so
Give us
that's
a
that.
moment.
Sorry. Multitasking, trying to do it all.
Yeah, no.
See,
So that.
we talked about that last week.
Yeah.
We said we're not gonna multitask. So Kat is our producer, so she handles like all the Pro Tools. I'm trying to work on Facebook and trying to do all the screen, and Custom does Zoom. She's also does the Pro Tools. So,
All right.
welcome to our live show. What's up with Women's History Month?
Yeah, so it is Women's History Month. I heard Rihanna has been the face, I guess, of Fenty. She has her company, has been doing her thing. I think it was $1 billion it made or something like that.
All right, Rihanna.
That is
Yeah.
amazing. Can we do some claps for
Yeah,
that?
for real.
$1 billion.
Was it last year or last month?
Last month?
Wow, last
month.
month.
Last month.
Woo, I
And-
need to get out of real estate.
That's a new business.
Right?
Isn't it like less than 5 years?
Yeah, definitely no.
Yeah, definitely.
That's-
Way less than
that's-
5
That's
years, I
why
would
she's
think.
not
So
putting out
sexy.
music.
Right, she don't have
Right.
to. She don't have to.
Right,
Like,
She got sexy lingerie.
Right, I'm on to bigger stuff. All right,
Yeah.
Her
Rihanna.
husband's a billionaire.
Her husband.
Her boyfriend, friend.
Her boyfriend.
Wrong couple. Never mind.
No.
But doesn't she date a billionaire?
Yeah, she's dating a billionaire.
I thought she-
Well,
I thought
unless
they-
they didn't break up.
I'm about to say, I thought they broke up.
I thought so too.
As soon as she made her own billion.
Period.
All right, Rihanna.
She made her own billion. You hear that? Checkmate.
Yeah.
Liz.
Well, she didn't need, like, okay, so I'm sorry. I'm going to go off on a tangent right now. But I know there are a lot of women who date, wealthy men who have, they're established, whatever. And then they piggyback off of the men, which I don't knock. But Rihanna,
Yeah.
she never had a man. Like, she just started showing
Not
her
never
man.
had a man.
I mean, no, I'm sorry. Like, never in the spotlight. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Right,
Never
right.
in the
She's
spotlight.
definitely
Like,
low key.
yeah, low
never had a
key.
man.
Right. Like, she never, it was Rihanna and then it was a guy. It was never like the guy and
And
Rihanna.
Rihanna.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know what I mean? So, big
The
shout
last one
out
was
to her.
Chris, right? Was it Chris?
Right. I'm
That was the
sorry.
last-
Yes.
yeah, that
it
was
was
the-
Chris. Yes.
And
Chris
Drake?
was.
She talked to Drake too?
No.
I
No.
don't
No,
know.
she
It was
never-
like,
Kind of,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Kinda, sorta.
I mean, who knows?
seconds.
Yeah.
I think so. Remember? Y'all be
Yeah.
forgetting the good
No,
stuff.
I don't forget
don't
because
think
they
it was a
had
couple,
beef and
right.
all of that
Yeah, it was a
stuff.
thing.
No, no one
was a
forgets.
thing?
It was a thing, but I don't think they were ever like
Yeah.
official.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
But-
it was ASAP. I liked her in ASAP.
No, but see,
ASAP Rocky.
Again, so
Remember?
we had this conversation about Lori.
Okay.
Just because you're out,
Mhm.
you're in a picture with a dude,
Mhm.
or you're somewhere with a dude. Does that mean that that's your dude, or does
Well,
that mean
I
like
think they were dating exclusively.
know they
Y'all
was
let us
dating.
know. Was AZ
they made a
AZ?
song
AZ.
together?
AZ.
You took it back.
Showing my
Yeah.
age. I know she old.
Right.
I think they made a song about like fashion or something, or maybe he was in a video. Or she, I don't remember.
I don't
the
remember it
specifics.
at all.
But I don't remember.
So-
again, I just think
So
it's.
y'all forgot?
I think it was the.
Remember they made like a comeback song or like a
Yeah, I remember the song, but I just like I'm saying, just because you work with somebody doesn't
doesn't
always
mean
mean that like you're with that person. It's just like, look at you looking at me. But it's the truth
Right.
though.
Cat. Dated ASAP
All right.
Rocky.
Well, I don't know. I just know Chris
was a
and
good
then this
look for her.
billionaire.
But either way, she doing her thing.
Right.
Period.
Either way,
Right.
she doesn't
One-
need any of
that
them.
Fenty-
Billion. Must be nice. You doing Beyonce?
Oh, I mean, I'm gonna let y'all talk about B, but I'm gonna tell you, we don't have a picture of B up here.
We do.
No, not the picture that I wanted because I didn't send it in. She killed it in
You know
a
what,
right.
silver dress after the Grammys yesterday. She killed it. Yeah, that one was nice too. That was
Totally,
nice.
totally.
And why are we honoring Beyonce? I mean, although it's Beyonce, but
Yes. We are definitely honoring Beyonce this evening because last night she actually was awarded for the most Grammys
That's dope.
by any artist, man,
Wow.
male, so someone has confirmed, when they confirm it's true. Someone confirmed the Shade Room. Now, Shade Room is facts on facts.
All right.
For sure.
Shade Room said that they was dating. They also was singing together.
All right, so they dated. All right.
Wait,
Wait, the
it.
Shade Room.
Thanks
said
for the the shade room. Is,
They
the Shade
commented
Room is
on
black
our-
facts.
Oh. I thought the Shade Room
Like,
came in.
yeah.
I'm like,
Happened.
oh, right? Oh, okay.
Shout
Okay.
out to Beyonce. Did you guys see the Grammys? Did
I
anybody
did
see
not.
the
I
Grammys?
didn't know.
How
I
did,
guess I gotta watch
how did
it on
Blue get a
YouTube.
Grammy?
Blue got a Grammy?
Yeah,
She
she's
did
the-
get a
Blue got a
She was
Grammy?
like the
For what
youngest person.
song?
I
Got a
don't.
Grammy?
It was for best music video, so I don't know if
Yeah,
it was just because she was in it or did they put her as like an executive producer. But I
But
just
she
saw that
definitely got
headline.
one.
I was like,
The baby?
the
yeah.
baby.
She's like,
Blue
yeah.
Ivy. She got a Grammy.
Why? What video was she in? Remember,
I have
she
no
had like
idea.
some like ad lib on one of
Yeah.
the songs.
Yeah,
What
but
song
she was a
that?
baby,
Right.
Man,
baby,
Whatever it
baby.
was.
She's done way less than Nas, and he just got a Grammy.
Exactly.
Right. Like,
Oh, he just got a Grammy for the
Uh-huh.
first time.
this was his first Grammy. I like
At
Nas.
all?
I like
Time?
Nas too, but
I
you
wish
know,
I had a picture of Nas.
I feel like I don't know. What do you guys feel like? Is the Grammy? And again, I don't know. Are they commercialized? Are they like
Absolutely.
It has
Yeah.
to be for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I would think
Absolutely.
so.
Definitely
Because
just-
how did Blue get a Grammy? Like,
Yes.
well,
How old is she? Now, I don't want the
Yeah.
Beehive to shut down this station. So.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
We-
No, we speak
All right,
positively
Blue.
of Blue.
I'd be like, have y'all seen them Divas? That show is canceled.
they was talking
It
about
was slandering Blue.
right. We support the family.
We definitely, but I think it's definitely commercialized. Think about
Yeah.
Nas been making great music since
Mhm.
Right.
early '90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am the never. I won't get into all the songs that I think I know.
Yeah.
Hey Mama, what's going on? But just think about it. Even what's her name? Megan said
She won something,
yeah,
right?
she got 3
Yeah.
Grammys
Oh, she-
last night. Lord, me and this motherboard. Oh, here it is right here. But we just saw Megan last year at one of these spots in Elizabeth. So I'm just saying, when you got the right
She's
people
down to
on
earth.
your team,
Commercialized.
She's down to earth.
because we were like able to reach out and touch her, and now I'm sure she's never gonna come back to the Hood Club ever again. We had our chance.
Yeah.
No, I feel like Megan is super down to earth. I think she
I
would
do.
come back to her. Where's she from, by the way?
Houston.
Oh, Houston.
Houston.
Oh, I don't even know.
Houston.
H time.
Her actually got one. Have you guys heard her music?
Who is that?
Who was that?
That's come on now. Y'all know her name.
No,
I
I'm
don't.
talking about this
I'm
lady
sorry.
with the green hair.
I wouldn't.
She's Billy.
Billy who?
What she sing?
She must be amazing. So Billy is actually on my list of hey Miss Strickland. Billy is actually on my list of people to listen to only because she's gotten like 5 Grammys each year. So her music
Oh.
must be amazing.
I really don't know anyone by name anymore.
Billy, it's like Billie Jean. What's going
You
on, Black?
lying.
Billy. It is like Billy, like it. So
Billie Jean?
Billy something. What's
Come on.
what's the singer
is-
with the green hair? I know her name is Billy,
Put
and
it
she
back
gets
up.
Billie Eilish. See,
Oh, Billie
Bill-
Eilish. Oh, I thought
Billie
Billie Eilish was a
Eilish.
guy.
What they sing?
Is it
okay.
You know that new song?
Sing it.
Right.
See.
I never heard of Billie Eilish.
It's on my list
Never.
of music to listen to. Because anyone that can win 5 Grammys each year, they must be a true lyricist.
Right.
This not their first year winning?
This their second year. It's
Oh.
her and I think a friend or cousin. So what happened was, this is how I found out it was the Grammys. I was studying for something and this came up on my YouTube and I was like, wait, what's this? That flip? We gotta learn that, y'all. Today. The flip.
That
is,
all
The
right.
flip, it's, if you missed it,
So no one's gonna Google who Billie Eilish is? Like, I'm curious.
I've heard of that
Yeah.
person. I didn't.
No, I never.
someone said that's her brother. So it's pronounced, Instagram got to know.
Who's-
Eilish. Billie Eilish.
Did
But-
somebody put the
and she's
yes, they
young.
did for the pronunciation?
She's young. She's like 19, 20.
I don't know.
So shout out to her.
all
We're gonna
right,
get
shout out
into
to Billie.
major.
Before we do, anyone on Facebook?
Yes, we
Oh,
gonna.
okay.
No
so-
one's on. I mean, we have viewers on Instagram, but no one said anything yet.
Right, John. We need real music back. I don't know what they're talking about.
Are you talking about the Grammys?
We just need real music in general. Music is different nowadays.
If you got a
Like,
hot
it's
beat,
the little baby or the little baby, big baby.
No,
small
but
child.
like I do. Yeah, little baby. I like little
all their
baby.
names is
He's
the
not.
same.
I like little baby,
Baby's
right?
goated.
Look, Major. Can we get off this shot? This.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go to Major. Major agrees that little
Yeah.
baby.
Oh,
You
little
looked
baby.
nice last night.
He brings her every
See,
year.
to Callie's point, that was the baby.
Oh,
Thank
oh,
you.
I'm so sorry.
See?
The
See,
baby.
all these babies.
The
Told
baby.
you. The baby, little
Not.
baby.
What did she say?
Your
That's
baby is
my
my
baby.
baby.
Yeah, right. Like your baby,
Don't she
my
say that?
baby, right? What did she say?
What they say, guys?
Some-
Your baby is
some
my
baby.
baby.
Some babies.
Some baby.
We aging ourselves, guys. We aging ourselves.
Listen.
His baby is my baby. The baby.
Oh, so little baby is the one you say? Is it little baby or little baby?
Definitely not little.
Definitely not little.
Lord.
Definitely not
You next
little.
Tell us, is it little baby
Is
or is
little
it
baby
the
or the baby?
They both exist.
Right, right.
Well, I definitely know who little baby.
But that's
I
the
like
baby.
the baby. I
Yeah,
think I
yeah.
like
I
the
like
baby.
the
That's
baby.
him.
But that-
Baby over the baby or
I have this debate all the time. But I mean, if I could only choose one, it'd probably be Lil Baby. But I love them
Really?
both. Yeah.
Definitely.
what songs is he? What?
right.
I mean,
Little baby.
Come on, my trap stars. What does little baby?
I know little baby, the throat, the new one.
But-
Oh, that romantic.
Yeah.
That's my song.
No, he don't sing that song.
Oh no.
Oh, who's on that
so
one?
you making stuff up? Who sing that one?
Oh, yeah, who's on
T-
that one?
Who sing Throat
Never
Baby,
mind,
y'all?
never mind,
That's the
never
baby.
mind, never mind.
That's the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the baby.
That's the baby.
not
That's
Lil
the baby.
Yeah. Well, that's not his
Child.
song, but he's featured with whatever the other guy's name is.
See, I knew it wasn't his whole song. I'm about to be a rapper.
Right?
I gotta write this down.
What's
Right.
gonna be your rapper name?
Lil Cat.
Lil
Is that Lil or Little?
What's your rapper name?
Lil.
What's
Lil
your
Cat.
rapper name?
Y'all don't want to know my rapper name.
Major, what's your rapper name?
Mine would be Creme de la Creme.
Okay.
Oh,
Creme de la
Creme
creme. That sounds old school.
What's yours, Maddie?
Young Maddie?
Young
Lil
Maddie?
Maddie?
Lil Maddie?
Just-
Little Maddie?
Little.
Lil.
Oh, Lil.
Young. Aren't they
Young
young?
Maddie?
Young
Oh,
Maddie.
that's young
That
Maddie.
keeps me
I like
right.
Young
Right,
Maddie.
yeah.
Young Maddie.
All right.
Young Maddie. Album coming out 2022. All right, so let's hop into Major Bay, our feature guest of the evening.
Do we have anyone on the Facebook check-in before
Oh,
we?
all right. 1 second, guys.
Don't forget, we can hop on Zoom. The links are posted. We have the check-in if you want to call in. The number is
646-233-1302.
and where's the Facebook? No one's on Facebook tonight.
Facebook, what is going on here?
We have a couple of people on IG.
How do you go back? How do you go back?
Alright.
So Custom definitely helps me out. She helps me with the motherboard. So, Major,
Yes.
we're so happy to have you here.
Welcome
Happy
back.
to be back.
You was here with us last season.
Yes.
Would you like? You got the shot on him. Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah.
I know you mentioned you're with Annie Mac, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've been doing this for about 5 years.
Yes, ma'am.
Aside from mortgage, you also are an investor.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you elaborate on anything? What brought you into this business?
Yeah, I mean, I got into mortgage. Honestly, I got into mortgages to solve a family problem. I had somebody who was going through bankruptcy, and my friend at the time was telling me, "Oh, you should check this out. Like, it's a good career." And I was kind of getting bored with what I was doing, which was physical therapy at the time. So it was just kind of like the perfect timing where I needed to learn real estate to even understand how to help handle that situation.
Okay.
And then I just had a lot of free time because through my old job, so I would finish treating my patients, and then I would just get on the computer and take the course, study for the test. And then when I got done, I was in Texas. I came back to Jersey, and my buddy got me a job at the money store at the time. And I mean, that it's just been elevating since.
Nice.
Yeah.
Were you able to help with the bankruptcy?
Yeah. We took care of
Oh,
it.
that's what's up.
What part of Texas?
I was in it was called Fairfield, Texas, but it was like like one street light. Like I lived in a motel. Like it was cool. It was an experience for sure. But it was about 3 hours west of Dallas. But there wasn't really anything, and like Walmart was 2 hours away.
Oh my God.
Which is normal for them. Like in Texas, like an hour trip is nothing because everything's so far, but there's no traffic. So,
Right.
And they do like 90 miles an hour because
Interesting.
it's in the country.
I haven't been to Texas. I want to visit.
I got a lot of love for Texas. I would go back.
Really?
Yeah, like over Florida. I would take Texas over Florida.
So I have a family member in Florida. I mean, in Texas.
Mhm.
The real estate there is really nice. At least in Dallas, I see, and it's pretty inexpensive compared to here in Jersey.
It's just these taxes.
Right, and I guess they also make less money in Texas. So.
And there's no state income tax, so you keep more of your money.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm an advocate. Texas forever.
Interesting.
I do know. Well, now they have the big Amazon. Don't they have a big?
Did they move over to Texas?
I think they have an additional headquarters over there.
I wouldn't be surprised. They got the space.
That, and I think once Mercedes came out there, then Amazon came out there because they were moving out like a lot of the young entrepreneurs, what they call us, millennials.
Yeah.
They were moving towards Texas, whether
Gotcha.
it was Houston or Dallas, but whichever
Okay.
so maybe. So, Cal,
So, can you explain a little bit about the mortgage process right now?
Sure. All right. So, I mean, the mortgage process in and of itself is just it's really the first step to figure out what not only can you qualify for, but what are you really going to be comfortable coming out of pocket with and comfortable handling on a monthly basis.
Right.
So I always say, like, real estate agents, right? Y'all get the sexy side of it.
The sexy
side.
side.
Not
I don't know
easy,
about that.
sexy, right? Like, you go on Netflix, there's $1 million
Sexy, so you
listings.
don't have to
We
elaborate.
got the real estate divas, you know what I mean? Like, when people think real estate, they think realtors. So by the time then on the other side is, with the mortgage process, it's getting all, oh man, I'm stumbling on my words. It's figuring out, if you're not, basically they're going to come to you. If you're not purchasing for cash, the first thing you're going to say is, okay, have you been pre-approved by a bank? And a lot of people, I think they make that like a big monster under the bed. They'll say like, oh, I'm not ready, or I don't want to get my credit checked yet. And like, I always advocate if buying a house is your goal, the sooner I can see
Right.
where you're at now, the sooner we can start problem solving and figure out how to close the gap between where you're at and where you need to be, so we can get you out buying a house.
Right.
And so it consists of basically it's going to consist of checking your credit, evaluating your credit history, evaluating your payment history, and then most importantly, evaluating your debts on a monthly basis. Like I tell people a lot too, we don't necessarily care about how much debt you have. Like the balance itself doesn't matter. What we care about is what does that look like on a monthly basis to you, right? Because if your student loans plus your car plus your furniture plus your credit cards add up to $5,000 a month, right? And you make $7,000 a month, that only leaves $2,000, for a mortgage. And we're not, and that would be 100% of your income. We're going to cap you at 50 because we're not even taking into consideration, your light bill, your gas, your food, children. You know what I mean? So I have that conversation a lot with people too. The whole mindset is to protect people from themselves, essentially. So that's what I enjoy doing, and explaining how and breaking that down for people. Yeah.
And that's
cool.
considered the debt to income ratio, correct?
Correct.
Is there a certain percentage or number that you're looking at?
So different loan programs will let you do different things, but FHA has the highest, where you can go to 56%. Where
56.99. You told me
56.99.
Because I asked.
Sometimes we gotta squeeze it out.
Yeah.
And that makes a big difference. Versus if on a conventional loan, it'll cap you somewhere between 40 to 48. But that can easily be like $50,000 to $75,000 off a purchase price, depending on what your taxes are.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell us, what documents do you need to begin? Everyone wants to know. Let me make sure that Facebook is listening, because they need to know.
All right. I mean, if I had to list them in order of importance, pay stubs are number one. Or proof of being paid. I mean, if you're retired and you get a pension, or you're getting disability, Social Security, even child support, it's just about documenting your income. And then as long as that's easy to track, or we can document it, then we can use it. Your W-2s are gonna also help us evaluate what you've made in the past versus what you're making now, and also help us evaluate your work history. Tax returns are not, it depends, right? So if you're not self-employed, like if you're a W-2 employee and all your money comes from your employer, like I do a lot of my loans with no tax returns. But as soon as somebody has another business, or maybe you own another property, or you have income that's coming, outside of a W-2, then tax returns are absolutely mandatory.
Okay.
Especially for people who are 1099. Like a lot of them don't always understand, when your 1099 comes in for $70,000, but by the time you do all your write-offs and you claim $20,000, that's the number we have to use. So especially around tax return season, like this is my favorite time to kind of get in front of self-employed people and let them know, like, listen, I support, right? Like we all work hard for our money.
Right.
Them IRS checks, they hurt. But if you want to buy a house, and get standard financing, then you got to pay taxes at least 2 years.
Yeah, that's a good question. So do you have any programs for the self-employed?
Like
I have
loan?
outlets. Like I don't personally do a lot of like the niche programs anymore, like the bank statement only. Well, a lot of that stuff really it got frozen due to COVID. Like those programs would be considered higher risk, which is why your interest rate is higher, right? But when COVID kicked off, everybody kind of condensed and tried to protect themselves, because nobody knew exactly what was happening or what that was going to look like.
Right.
Here we are now, a year from later.
Going to happen.
You knew.
Everyone else,
I
knew.
knew it.
I knew it was going to happen. Nothing.
You was talking about self-employed, which is a very big, like, I would say, movement right now. Like, everyone is an entrepreneur.
Right.
So, Steph Lover actually asked, what would you need as a self-employed hairdresser or just self-employed person?
Right. So, you have options of how you want to file your self-employed income, but the easiest answer would be a Schedule C sole proprietor, and give it an accountant, but they're relatively easy to kind of do on TurboTax yourself, but. And what it is, it's your profit and loss for the year. So, the top line is going to tell us what you grossed, and then you're going to have all your expenses, and then the bottom line, 31, is going to tell us what you netted. And that's the number that's most important. And I've seen it. I've seen 150 and then 150 in expenses, and then zero.
Writing off everything.
Right. And listen, I get it, but you don't leave much room for the bank to say, well, how much do you make on a monthly basis? And, you filed $0 or $10,000. It's $800 a month. There's not a mortgage in New Jersey you're going to get for $800 a month. So
Absolutely. I'm glad that she asked that question because I'll always try to encourage like the self-employed to work backwards. Like, what do you want to buy? So if you're buying a multifamily at 500,000, then we need to file taxes at this number.
Correct.
Because I've seen it happen so many times where they don't show enough, and it falls apart unfortunately too late.
Correct.
So let's work backwards. So if you're looking to purchase this year and you did not file, hold off a second, call Major, let him know what you're
Right.
considering
Right.
What the goal is.
Right.
purchasing, and let's work backwards. Because I've also learned too, like if you amend your taxes, then you have to wait like 3 months, I think.
Mhm.
So let's work smarter, guys.
Yeah.
We see things fall apart, so it's our job to help you prevent it from falling apart.
Yeah. And I have a few accounts that I have good rapport with for that reason, because I tell people like I'm not a tax professional, so but my job is gonna tell you what number you need to be at
Right.
to achieve your mortgage goals or your real estate goals. But then you're gonna go to your tax professional and he's gonna tell you what that's gonna look like to the IRS. And if that's not feasible or
Then you'll amend
realistic,
it.
then we just have to reset the expectations or come up with a new game plan over here. But again, having that, the sooner we have that conversation, the better. Yeah, for sure.
Also, too, because I know it's a big question too. So okay, so you file your taxes, and let's just say you owe $25,000 in taxes. I mean, think about 2 years if you're trying to get this house that you. Do you see his eyes blinking like? $25,000.
To the IRS.
There are payment plans, right?
Correct.
So if you make 3 payments, then you can purchase.
Yep. So,
But
See?
that payment, it gets included in your DTI.
and that's what I was gonna say. So we want to have that conversation too, and it's not. Unfortunately, it's the IRS, so it's not fast. But if you tell them like, hey, listen, if I owe 25,000, if I pay 5 now and I go on a payment plan for 20, we're gonna include that payment plan in your DTI. So if that payment is $400 a month, and now you don't qualify,
Right.
then you might have to put down 10,000 to get that payment down to $300 a month. You know what I mean? So even before that's finalized, I would tell people, let me see what the answer is, or just tell them, okay, based on your DTI, you only have room for a $150 IRS payment. So call them and find out again what that number is to make that happen. And if that's not feasible, then we got to reset our game plan or our expectations on the mortgage side.
That is really good information. Guys, it costs you nothing to do a consultation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nothing.
absolutely.
COVID.
Yeah,
COVID's a big one. So
2020 was a year.
we want to know, how was your 2020 in Linden?
My 2020 was terrible.
Really?
It was terrible.
We thought you guys had the best market ever. Or the best year ever.
So in March when it hit, I mean, everybody kind of froze. Everybody kind of took a
Right.
step back, like we don't really know what to do because there was no precedent for it, right? So everybody's guidelines tightened up overnight.
Yeah.
So I had deals in the pipeline, like an FHA 642 credit score, and where I was at the time, we went to 680 immediately. So those deals just got stuck, and there wasn't much relief you could tell people, but let's wait and see. So then a lot of my deals got slow, and then I ended up moving companies. So from March to September or August, I closed like 2 deals. So I was burning through savings. I was
That's
drowning.
why you was calling me. He was calling me all stressed. I'm like, the market's
don't-
great. He's
don't-
like, it is. I'm
don't
like,
be
yeah,
putting Major
right.
on blast.
I'm sorry.
I was going through it, but
I'm sorry.
it all worked out for the best. So it led me to make like hopefully my final. It feels like my final for sure, but my move to Annie Mac, and it's just surrounded by a great team. And then from September to December, I closed like 25 loans.
Period.
Saved
Can we
my
get some
year.
claps on
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
I think
yeah.
Saved my year.
I think I'll do that.
And the momentum has rolled to the top of 2021.
So why is that though? Is it because you changed companies, or is it because lending didn't change until I think like last month, right? They lifted a lot of stuff. Or this month actually.
Well, that's a good point. So, but it was also once the new rules reset, then now your pre-approvals and how you're setting your deals up already fall into it, as opposed to when they were just kind of making stuff up as they figured it out, and then you couldn't really help the people that were already committed to their refinance or their transactions. So, you know, people at the beginning of COVID, through most of COVID, people weren't paying their mortgage. People were out of work. So they were trying to find a balance of being fair to those who are really out of work and can't make these payments, and then also, you know, trying to protect themselves from people who are just going to take advantage of the opportunity. So, you know, first it was, okay, if you don't make your mortgage payments, you'll owe us a lump sum payment in 6 months. And people were like, well, if I'm not actually making money, where am I going to have 6 mortgage? So, and then from what I saw, a lot of servicers transitioned into they deferred it to the back of the loan. So like now, like, you know, I'll do a few refis and they'll have their principal balance and then they'll have the deferred balance that they saved up. But, you know, it was tough. Like if your tenants stop paying rent and, you know, now that mortgage is solely on you, if you can, a lot of people took the forbearance option. And the one thing, you know, COVID did, it held the rates down. Like the rates were phenomenal. But that party ended in February, like overnight.
Right.
Like, so we learned 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, we all knew they were gonna go up. Hoped it would be a little
slight, you know, slight inch.
No, we went to bed on Friday, and we woke up on Monday in a whole new world, and it was almost like you had to laugh, not to cry, because like I tagged like a bunch of like lenders that I'm friends with, and I was like, "How's everybody's day going?" Everybody just had the same reaction, like. You know, I had people yelling at me like, "Well, what is this and that?" I'm like, I didn't do this.
Yeah, you have no control.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was crazy, but.
What are the rates currently?
Currently, from everybody's over 3%. So like the twos
we're over 3 now.
The twos for free are gone from what I've seen, and I always check in with like I'll check mortgage rate daily, and I'll especially like I'll check in with Wells Fargo a lot because they kind of set the standard. But even there, like if you go on right now and put in a 780 credit score, they're at like 3 1/8 charging half a point. So
and charging a point?
A point to a half a point, yeah. So it's not free. So like whenever I quote people on rate, I'm usually my focus is really on getting them the payment that they're comfortable at and they're out of pocket. So if somebody says, well, listen, I have 50 grand that I'm willing to invest in the entirety of this, buying a house, then that lets me know, okay, well, we have to allocate X amount to the down payment, allocate X amount to the closing costs. But if there's a little more, okay, maybe we'll buy the rate down a little bit. Maybe we'll do like a single paid PMI premium where instead of paying your PMI monthly, you could just pay it one time at closing. And then you don't ever have to worry about it again monthly. But that's exclusive to conventional loans. Yeah, me and Candace found that out on FHA.
Yeah. I'm definitely glad that you said there was sort of like a pause in income, because realistically, if your average quote unquote buyer, they of course 580, but they just hit 620 and then it jumped up to 660, I had to definitely try to really figure out like where can I take this borrower so I can continue to close. And you know, some people were a bit upset, you know, like, why are you moving my deal? Because this is a business for me.
Correct.
This has nothing to do with you and our friendship. When things open back up, we'll break bread. But as for right now, I need to make sure this borrower is closed, and I need to make sure that this borrower is closed.
Yeah, I had to, when I was in a position where I couldn't help them, I had to send, like, listen, I called around, this bank said they'll do the financing, and, you know, the goal is obviously to make money, but that's not the path. That's the result of helping people. But if you can't help them, then you gotta let them get their house, and that's, you know, that's gotta be priority number one.
And I had a lot of conversations with lenders, and you know, probably you and a few others, and they were like, Candace, I can't do it.
Yeah.
If you got someone else that can. And I was like, all right. Like, you know, but I respected that because, like, you know, at the end of the day, I think COVID hit a lot of us, and some predicted what was going to happen, i.e. me, and a lot didn't. But, you know, it was scary for a lot of people. Yeah. So, yeah, it was tough. But
The unknown. What my cousin said it the other day, and like I keep laughing. He's like, confusion creates anger. Like when people don't know, they get
Right.
they get upset. Like
Absolutely.
make it make sense, and that's what it was. So like even back to your point now, the guidelines have slowly started to, you know, they're loosening back up. But again, nobody's really in a rush to go back and lend to 580. And
So we see.
right. And you can, like, there's lenders that'll do it. And even, honestly, even up to like 620, like 640.
Right.
And I tell my borrowers all the time, like, you can get financing, but it's not going to be the sexiest. And 9 times out of 10,
Not the
it's
sexiest.
cheaper to fix your credit than it is to pay these points
Right.
and a higher rate. That, you know what I mean? So I preach that all the time, and especially if the timeline allows it. Like sometimes, you know, some people are in a tight situation. A lease is coming up, and we got to get them into a house, fix the credit, and come back later. But if the timeline allows it, I'm a big advocate for credit repair.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Sounds good. I want to jump into this. I know Major doesn't like talk about it a lot. It's the Shanoa,
Shanoa.
the Shanoa grant. But I will say, you know, my last buyer was able to purchase her whole house, no money down, payment $1,600. It's amazing. So I'll let Major talk about that if you want to.
Shanoa. I like Shanoa. I use Shanoa. Shanoa's a tool, right? It's an option. I try not to champion it as like the go-to, the best thing to do, because I mean it all depends what you value in real estate and what's gonna make the most sense for you. So if someone comes to me and they say, I have $12,000, right, and your down payment is $12,000 and your closing cost is $12,000, and the only issue is money to close, you know, I would rather try to get the seller concession, because now they're not going to be financed 100% of the value of their house, so they're not kind of setting themselves back in equity, right? The rates on that program used to be higher, but now they've been even. So I actually had that conversation with a girl the other day. I'm like, I mean, for the exact same rate and the exact same payment, it might not be that bad, especially the way, you know, home prices are moving at this time. But again, you know, you guys can attest to it. This is not the market to be asking somebody for $12,000 in closing costs. So if we can't get it from the seller, then option B, I would say, okay, well, we can finance that. We'll finance the down payment of $12,000, and then you can use your $12,000 to cover your closing costs. But it's a great program, and it's not a grant, right? It is what it is. We'll finance 100% of the property. So if the purchase price is $300 and you're supposed to put down $10,000, you'll get one loan for $290,000, and then we'll give you a second loan for the $10,000. And there's a few ways to set it up, but you know, generally we'll do it as a 0% interest, forgivable in 36 payments. So after you make your first 3 years of payments on time, it just disappears. If you go late and miss a payment, nobody's gonna knock on your door and ask you for $10,000. Your 36 months just restarts from the time you missed that payment.
Interesting. And is it on single families only, or can you get a multi?
Up to 2 families.
Up to 2
Yeah,
families.
they won't do 3 to 4 units.
Okay. That's good to know.
Someone sort of beat y'all program the other day.
Huh?
Yeah. Huh? So someone also has the Shanoa program, but
Okay.
they said, so maybe, you know, you get Annie Mac CEO on the phone and say, listen, if we're going to offer this grant, we might got to offer it like this company. They're offering 3-year forgiveness. If you pay your mortgage on time for 3 years, then they forgive the secondary mortgage.
That's what he said.
That's what I was saying.
Did I miss that part? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but
he
you-
I
just
mean,
said that.
Yeah, tomato. Like, when I think grant, when I think grant, I think of, you know, somebody cutting you a check and there's no necessarily an obligation to it. Maybe I have the wrong definition of a grant. You know what I mean? Like like if you get a student loan, a grant, somebody's gonna cut you a check and it's done. But if somebody's giving you a forgivable loan, it's still a loan in the sense of if you sell your house in less than 3 years, or you try to refinance in less than 3 years, or you miss one payment in year 2 and now your 3 years restarts, they're gonna, if you sell a refi, they're gonna collect that money. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it is 0%, and it is It is whatchamacallit, forgivable.
36 payment.
Yep.
Someone said, is it just based in New Jersey? And I know you're also licensed in
Georgia, Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Maryland.
Got it. Cousin, I'll let you know if he gets some North Carolina stuff.
There's like 2 states I think it's not in, and like states no one cares about, somewhere over there. So, but no, for the most part, they have it. It's nationwide.
Got it.
Got it. So volume. I mean, we kind of spoke about like how, things change with COVID and everything. You say like your volume now has increased, or
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
So in 2019, I did 35 units for like 7.5 million. And I was saying like 2020 was so bad. I was on Facebook one day, and I'm like, I'm never on Facebook, but I'm in like a bunch of different mortgage groups, and some lady just happened to post, has anyone else like considered getting out of mortgages like during COVID? And I'm like, this is a sign. Like sometimes I'll be taking an application, and maybe someone makes 50, 60,000 a year, and I'm taking the app, and I was like, but they get that every month. Like this is killing me. It was months with no paycheck, and I just started reading the comments, and it was humbling because I don't think anybody said yes. Everybody was like, no. What other industry would allow you to be able to earn 6 figures with no bachelor's degree or a master's degree? Or one lady was like, my kids are home from school, and I'm blessed to be able to be here with them and still take care of my business. And like I probably read like 30 comments. I was like, all right, you're bugging. You just gotta get it together. And so in 2019 I did about 35 units for like 7.5 million, and then 2020 was tough, but like I said, those last 3 months it just went crazy. I ended up doing 36 units for a total of 10 million, and when I look back, like wow, I saved my year in the last 3 months. So the goal is to just keep the momentum going this year.
Yeah.
Try to double it. Try to do like 20 million. And 60 units.
But it's crazy because I hear a lot of, and let me just go back on the rate thing, because I've been through the 2007, 2008 crash, and I've also been, I know people who had mortgage rates for 15%.
Right.
So
15%.
Yeah. So honestly, when people complain to me, they're like, "Oh my God, my rate is 3.5%," and I want to be like, "Listen, honey."
I think my parents' first rate was like 12%.
Right. I'm about to say, honey. Like, I mean, of course the house was rich, but still, it was the same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you're 3.5, please.
Right.
Like, I know
15%.
15%.
That sounds like usury.
Yeah, he said 21. His parents were 21%.
No, 12.
Or 12%. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like, so the rate.
Home prices weren't what they were.
No, that's what I said.
Right. So,
home prices, but they were also relative too, because they weren't making as much as we were making now too.
Correct.
So maybe, but either way, what about refis? Because I understand maybe the new buys, the volume for that wasn't high, but what about the refis? Because I heard a lot of people were refinancing.
Yeah, a lot of people went crazy with the refis. I mean, because it was like for us, it was like Christmas. Like you log in, it's like does that say 2.75%? You know what I mean? So
meanwhile they had the 3.5%.
Right. And,
or
and that's the thing with
five.
refis, man. People are funny because like people are like, well, can you go lower? It's like, sir, this is as low as it's ever been.
Right.
And,
Right.
People always want to shake you down, but and that's kind of when it ended. Like I said, it was so abrupt for anybody who was on the fence or didn't want to lock their rates. Like, well, that ship has sailed, sir. This is welcome to this is a whole new world. But refis were big business. I mean, even now, like now that the rates are up, there's still good refi opportunity, especially just where the market's at. Like I had a lady, we purchased her. She did her purchase in like May of 2019 for $475, and she appraised for $525 in January. So just because the market is moving so well, there's a lot of room for debt consolidation. So if you have 4 or 5 credit cards all close to maxed out and you're paying 22%, there's a lot of benefit to cash out on your house, right? You're gonna raise your mortgage up by rolling that in, but now you're paying 3.5% on that debt, and those credit cards are gone.
Right.
If your car rate, you know what I mean? If your car payment is $600-700 and you're paying 4 or 5%, whatever, pay off your car, roll it into your house, because that might only raise your mortgage payment by $600 say $100,
Right.
but we knocked out 600, net savings to you 500 on a monthly basis.
And I think we need to speak more about that because I think
Yes.
people don't realize, like, I mean, I know it's cool. Oh, I own this, I own that. Yeah, real estate, da, da, da. But I don't think people really understand the power of that.
Right.
Like, I went to a very expensive university,
Mhm.
and it was because my mom had real estate, and she was able to refi.
Tap into her equity.
Right. And that's a beautiful thing.
Right.
Like, that helps build wealth and, helps the generations, coming forward and stuff like that. And that's something that I think we don't speak about that much.
Especially when I'm educating like first time home buyers, like I try to give people just maybe perspective that they might not think about, right? So even when it comes to buying a house, I sincerely can compare a house to being like a bank account, right? Like when you invest into that house, every time you make that payment, the loan's going down, but over the value of the property historically only moves in one direction outside of, what happened in the market crash. But there was very clear reasons of exactly how that happened. It wasn't like, nobody knew what was going on. So, and now there's so many laws and guidelines in place to protect that from repeating.
Right.
So, you put your money in your house, but your $100,000 in your house is just going to appreciate faster than $100,000 in a savings account or $100,000 in a safe, But and then like you said, you have access to tap into it and take that and liquefy that equity to be able to invest in other things. But it's a great vehicle to let your money work for you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. We
Absolutely.
got 3 more questions for you before we run out of time. Kat?
Hit me.
Well, we ran over the rates already.
Yeah.
Can you explain the difference between the APR and the interest rates?
Yeah, I hate that question.
Oh, sorry.
No, so so interest, like they're apples and oranges, really. They're two different things. Interest rate is the amount of interest you're going to be paying back on this loan over the life of that loan. The APR is a tool that's designed to help you compare the fees and the interest rate compared to another lender. So if two lenders both say we're giving you 3.75, but one's APR, and so it's the interest rate plus the fees in a percentage form. So if one lender's APR is 4.75 on a 3.75 rate, and the other one is 5.2 on the same interest rate, that tells you that their bank fee might be higher, or they're charging, processing fees, or so on and so forth.
Oh,
So it's
interesting.
so when people
That's
call me
good.
and they're like, what's your APR? Which I get the question, but I usually steer to well, where are you at? Where do you want to be at on a monthly basis? Like, let's figure out your
Right.
rate.
You
Interest
finesse
rate.
them.
Well, because if I don't know what rate that they're offering, then the APR, you know what I mean? If they're or let's say I'm offering, I guess you're right. I guess you're
No,
right.
you're
If-
not finessing, but you're right. If you don't know what rate the other person is charging, then you really can't compare.
Right.
Because I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
But it's a tool. It's a tool it's a tool designed to help consumers and first-time home buyers be more educated shoppers when they're talking to
Interesting.
other lenders.
Okay.
Great explanation.
Very good.
We have one more question. We're actually going to go to the audience real quick, but while we're all sifting through our
No, Bonnie.
stuff, tell us about this investing. 'Cause I know you're also an investor. Why don't you give the audience
I
some
don't-
insight on that?
I don't want to. I can't gas myself up more than I've done. I just so over the last few months, I was able. I kind of aligned with a group of investors. They go by Flip That Trap on Instagram.
Okay.
They gave me my merch.
Okay.
And even them, man, they've been a blessing. Where I've gotten to learn a lot about the process with them, but they've been able to help me out. So they're flipping these properties, and they already they know what their sales price is going to be. And I want to say 5. We've closed 5, and I just put 1 under contract today. But I've been able to say, when someone calls me and say, listen, I'm looking for a 3-family newly renovated, I've been able to get with their agent and say, listen, come look at their inventory. And I've had people look at stuff that wasn't even done yet, but it
Interesting.
completely cut out the
Nice.
highest and best.
Okay.
And on all those deals, we were able to get all their closing costs covered because it worked for everybody was able to win. So it's been cool. But through them, I've learned a lot. I signed I got my offer accepted for a 3-family today.
Woo!
So we're gonna go
Get that,
go to
Nice.
attorney
have
review.
You want to tell us what town?
It's in East Orange.
Okay, I like East
Yeah, it's
Orange
beautiful.
investing. Yeah,
It's beautiful.
I like East Orange. It's good.
So yeah, it's an exciting time to
Taxes
be
are
alive.
high. I don't know
Extremely
why.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was surprised.
I don't know why. I
Right,
don't know why.
Andrew?
Well, I know why. It's because Newark is so low, and so the surrounding towns I'm heard of have to compensate for that difference.
For who though? I thought taxes pay for like your municipality, school, and police
Yeah, I
and
hear
teachers.
Again, I just hear because Newark's is so low, the surrounding towns, East Orange, not Orange per se, but West Orange, like all of those.
What would
they
Orange
all.
taxes are high too.
Huh? No, I know. Wait, Orange is high.
Orange is high.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, probably.
But what would EO's taxes do to support Newark?
Because they're so low, so they're probably putting. Maybe they have an agreement. I don't know. That's just what I heard. I don't know.
So what happened is, because your girl was born in Norfolk, raised in East Orange. East Orange is considered the suburbs, right? So there's two sides of East Orange. So you got the B4 Central Ave. The taxes are in the 10s, and even like in the presidential section, then 12, 13, some even 22, because they have some elevators in their houses. But once you cross over Central Avenue, it's more of the multifamily world. So there's more multis and the taxes aren't as high. But Khadijah said that they're high because they traditionally don't have a large business district, which is very true.
So other towns are compensating, I guess, for there has to be some sort of compensation. I heard for that deficit. But like Khadijah said, because there's no business or so something has to compensate for that.
Gotcha.
It's true, and also too. Well, it was a lot of more vacant properties, so someone has to pay for it, right? So I guess the actual homeowner would have to pay for it. People always say, well, why is East Orange taxes so high, and why is Orange and even Irvington taxes?
Yeah,
Irvington
yeah.
taxes,
my gosh.
crazy.
Them taxes are tricky.
Those are like
I lost,
bigger than
like,
Bergen County
Not
taxes.
bigger than Bergen County.
They are.
They sneaky over there.
That's
I'm glad
Irvington
you
is
said
Essex?
sneaky. 'Cause
Yeah.
That tax is
that
no joke
sneaky
either.
tax.
Hi, Khadijah.
Khadijah Major said, "Hey, we are so excited to have you today, Major. Why don't you give them your
Contact info.
Yes.
How to reach you, your IG.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Instagram's an easy tool. My Instagram is MB_Bay_mortgage. That's the easiest way because my work email is long.
Everything.
Right, but yeah, just send me a message or DM me on Instagram, and let's work. Let's figure out how we can start problem solving and, like I said, closing the gap from where people are today and where they need to be to achieve their real estate goals.
Absolutely.
awesome. We're gonna close out our session with I don't know who needs to hear this. Custom?
No.
See, custom and See, I don't know who needs to hear this. Is an opportunity for you to vent. So we all have some venting days. But since we're talking about lending, but this is what Custom says. So Custom told me to say this. She said, I don't know who needs to hear this, but stop co-signing for your cousins and them. But can't you actually have like 6 or 7 people up on your mortgage, on your...
I mean, oh my.
There's
the
no-
most.
I've seen, guys, I had a borrower. It's like 5 of us.
I think I'd say no. I don't think I'd do it.
Alone.
The most I've ever done is 3, and that's because somebody's a co-signer and somebody doesn't care as much as the person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm chasing this person down for pay stubs and
Right.
and they don't really, it's the most I've done is 3. I would say no. I would say no to 5. I don't care what the
I had
I don't care what the
4,
loan amount
But
is.
it worked out.
Right.
They were all...
They were all invested.
They were
in
all
it.
invested.
Okay, that's different.
Listen, if you got to have your cousin, sister, brother, and your father on the deal, I don't mind.
And you know what? On the deal, that's fine. I'm just saying, don't co-sign for a car and then a furniture credit card,
okay,
and then everyone want to stop paying right before you're about to close, and then they
Right.
run credit, and it's like, oh, but you didn't pay the last 3 months. Like, no.
Right, but that
Don't
wasn't
do
me.
that.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
it doesn't
That was
matter.
Your name, your
Doesn't matter.
credentials.
Protect
it's
your
affecting
credit. Yeah.
Your credit.
Protect your credit.
Do you
Protect
have
your
I don't know who needs to hear this right quick?
Yeah,
he probably
my,
not talking about my
Just
client.
pick one. Just pick one.
my pet peeve as a lender, especially like when I see people who make decent money, and I'll pull their credit and their score's low, and they'll be like, "What do I have to do to fix my credit score?" And it's like, "Sir, ma'am, there's nothing wrong with your score except all of your credit cards are maxed out. Like you just there's a simple fix. It's not a cheap fix,
Right.
but there's not much I can do to pay these cards down, and that one gets me.
And it helps with your DTI too, right?
Yeah.
Because the larger your
absolutely.
balance is, the higher your monthly payment it is.
Well,
and
I had this guy, and like he did the right thing in the sense of he got with some kind of credit repair company or agency, and what they did was they were able to lower his payments, right?
Oh.
So back to the DTI thing, his DTI was just very tight, but he had like, I don't know, like 10 cards, and like they went from like 15,000 to as low as 5, just basically all maxed out. But the payments were only like $40, right? Because of this program, which would have been great, but we were still tight on the DTI. So it's like, it's very hard to tell somebody to, like, if I tell you to pay off your car for $11,000, but we're gonna knock out $600 a month, that's gonna make a big difference on your pre-approval. But like, I don't have no advice for him, but like, if either this is what we're working with, but if you want to get higher, you got to pay off this, $12,000 credit card to get rid of $60 a month, and it's like,
Right.
it's not a lot of bang for your buck.
Right.
But he didn't have no options.
Or you can't get a house, period. I mean, it doesn't compare, but that's the only way to qualify for the house itself.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Correct.
Kat, you got I don't know who need to hear this?
No, that's it. That's about it. Get just finances in order. Double check, fact check everything. Credit cards, identity, in order to get pre-approved to start the home buying process. Because that's the first step for me. I know.
Definitely.
The first step.
My I don't know who need to hear this is it's not bad. It's sort of good. I don't know who need to hear this, but Madison passed her broker's exam today.
Hey.
So,
Congratulations.
thank you. So we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Don't forget to hit up Major Bay if you are looking to purchase your home. We put his contact information again is at MB Mortgage on Instagram.
MB_mortgage.
MB_mortgage. And we'll see you guys next week at 7 p.m.
Thanks for having me.
joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey. Congrats, Madison.
Thank you.
Text you, dog. I'm in class. Call you back. I'm in class. I'm studying. Boo. I'll text you back. I'm in class.